Good morning, okay. 8:34. Happy Monday to you. Wow, Monday. You got to start planning a little bit in advance of an event. Sometimes you can just go to an event and just be there. Maybe there might be a little bit of room left, but this one's probably going to fill up pretty quick. Rock the Lake Dose 2. That's because this is the second time around for you guys, right? It feels like it's been more than 2, though, hasn't it? Or no, is this really only the second?
We just come in a lot to talk about.
We've got Colin and Tim here, the founders of Rock the Lake. And so Rock the Lake 2 coming up September 21st, noon to 8 p.m. at Lake Norman Brewery in Denver. Let's recap, though. Give us the iteration, the journey of Rock the Lake and when and how it started.
So this started last year after Helene, Hurricane Helene, and Tim and I got together. It's a long story, but we'll cut to the chase. We were chatting to each other right after it happened, and we said, there's got to be something we can give back as two guys that manage bands here in the Lake Norman area. We said, there's got to be something we can do. So we were able to throw together last year's event in about 4 or 5 weeks. So last October was the first one where we raised $24,000 for Samaritan's Purse. And obviously, at that time, they were still giving a whole lot back to the community.
Sure, yeah.
So it was such a hit last time that we said we have to do this again. And certainly our hope is to do it every year.
Okay, so Rock the Lake 2. The dollars this time. So Samaritan's Purse last time. Is it Samaritan's Purse still? Give us the rundown on who we're supporting this round.
Yeah, this year we're also supporting Western North Carolina. The need up in Western North Carolina is still great. And now that things have slowed down to some extent with a lot of the donations and things, they need a continual push. So this year we actually added a second charity. So we are donating again to Samaritan's Purse because they are still doing fantastic work. And we found a smaller charity called Lansing's Bridge to Recovery. And they serve Ashe County, and their focus is on providing access to people's homes. There's so many homes up in Western North Carolina that are the roads on one side of the river and their homes on the other side of the river. And as we all saw, all the bridges got taken out. So private bridges and private culverts to people's homes were destroyed, and they're expensive to put back. And I talked to them as of a couple of weeks ago, and they said that there's at least 200 just in Ashe County people that still do not have access to their homes. They have to basically park on one side of the road, walk through the river to get to their homes. And so that's the second charity that we're funding this year to help people get access back.
It's wild a year later and how close the mountains are, but it still can seem so far away, right? Because our area in particular, right, didn't have those effects of Helene like obviously Western North Carolina, but you can drive there. We were just in the mountains this weekend as well, and you could still see areas that are still have significant damage. Arguably will never be rebuilt some areas, right? Because of that cost, like you said, and it's not cheap, not at all. All right, the bands. You guys manage bands. I don't know how you deal with all that. That's a lot of people to coordinate, a lot of drama. Who's writing what song? It's a hit. No, now we're superstars. Who are the bands you got going on for Rock the Lake 2?
So there's so many. They're up on the screen. I don't know if we want to necessarily go through all of them because there's 15 of them.
I want all of them.
You want all of them?
We got time.
We got time. All right. So you got Shotgun Saints, Dusty Live, Storm and Norman, Phil Goins, Foo for You, which is a tribute to the Foo Fighters.
Nice.
RLM, Real Legendary Music, Euphonic. Those are my guys. Gin and Sonic, Chasing Phoenix, Riley and Jeff, Heartbreaker is a heart tribute. Spiderwebs, Push, Preacher Stone, and Unknown Artist, which is Tim's band.
And some of these bands have been on the local scene for a while, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, they all are actually, and that was how we had to do it by a lottery this time because last year it was who's available on that day,
right?
And
you
then
put it together in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we had no choice. I don't want to say we took whoever was available, but that's kind of what it worked out.
We
to
almost
be.
let Justin play.
Right? If we needed a spot, I would have called you. And so this year we did it as a lottery, and we did it live actually right around the time we came on a couple of months ago.
That's right.
And I think that was a great way to do it because it gave everyone a shot. We probably had 40 or so bands that put their hat in.
Really?
Wow, that's
yeah,
amazing.
people want to play in this stuff.
That's a lot of bands, though. You know what I mean? In general, it seems
And
like for an
the
area, right?
Bands donating their time too. Like
Yeah.
they're donating their
Yes.
time for the event too. So
Yeah,
that's really
shout
nice
out
of
to the
them.
bands.
Yeah.
Every band, none of them are getting paid. All of them are generously donating their time, rehearsal time for that. And in addition, this year we have Joseph Gallo with Gallo Productions.
Okay.
He is actually providing all the sound production at an even higher level. Last year we kind of put it together.
Yeah.
It sounded great. But this year Joseph is really stepped up and he and his crew are donating, bringing all the equipment and running all the sound production
Wow.
for the event. So shout out to Joe.
It
Two
takes a
stages.
village. Yeah, two
Two
stages.
stages,
again,
yeah,
huh?
because we have the full bands on the main stage at the brewery,
Yep.
and then we have a small acoustic band.
Yeah.
And so that's how you can see the 40-minute, 20-minute. So we're literally nonstop. Every and maybe there's 20, 30 seconds in between. I'll make a little speech and get the
Just quick,
hurry up and go and get the next band.
Now the
on.
T-shirts were big. I remember too. Weren't
Yes.
the T-shirts a big deal last time?
Yeah.
Yes, and we're gonna have new T-shirts this year.
Okay.
even bigger and better T-shirts. We don't have them yet, otherwise Colin and I would have worn them. The ink won't be dry when they get delivered on Sunday, but they will be delivered on Sunday. So yeah, T-shirts will be available for $30. We'll have them at the event. And, last year, some of the sizes sold out. So when you get there, they'll be right next to the check-in tent.
So the T-shirt's one way to support. Is it a ticketed event or is it a free event? Give us the rundown there.
Yeah. So $25 tickets, and then there's tables available at $100 a piece. And I think we're down to maybe 1 or 2 tables left. So
That's it.
Yeah, and there's 20, 25 tables,
Yeah.
picnic tables. So, and people are going to be there all day, as you said, 12 to 8. So this is an all-day event. Now, will people stay? Probably not everybody, but it'll be come in patches.
You'll be able to tell which ones have been there for.
Yes,
And then will there be food? Obviously, they'll have drinks, but food as well.
Yeah. So
Yes, so we'll have a couple food options, and one of the food options this year is one of our sponsors, the Smoke Pit Barbecue,
Oh, that's a good
is
one.
donating.
Yeah.
With their other vendors that are up on the screen, all their food is donated that we will be selling. And tremendous barbecue boxes and brisket boxes with all the fixins will be, and all those proceeds will go to this event and the charities.
Very cool.
it's actually not proceeds, it's everything because there's no cost to this, right? We're
Yeah.
not spending money on anything. So every dollar that we get is going into that check. So we're really hoping to break that $24,000, number this
How
year.
much did you raise last year?
24,000.
24,000 last
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
And that was in with 700 people
yeah.
about that we had.
Yeah.
We're expecting closer to 1,000 this time.
And the weather didn't really cooperate with you last year, if I remember.
It was cold.
It was a little
Oh,
chilly.
no.
It's cold but dry.
Yeah.
Dry is the number one
Yes,
priority.
that's what you would need. That's what we need. is
Yeah, and
dry.
they're saying 80 something on Sunday and
Ooh,
maybe 20% chance of rain. So I take that all day long.
And it was at Lake Norman Brewery last year
Correct.
as well, right? So what's that relationship been like? What's it like with the brewery and working through all that?
Yeah, they've been great to work with. For those of you who have been there or have not been there, it has a fantastic outdoor space, a huge covered stage. It's a great setup for this kind of event. We encourage folks to bring a bag chair if they don't have a table, if they want to just park and hang out. So there's lots of space to be able to set up chairs and watch. And of course, they have great brews at Lake Norman Brewery.
Let's go through the band listing because the type of music, right? I know you said Foo Fighters was one, but let's go through these. Give us the kind of style of each of the
You got
bands.
any,
that,
you got any yacht rock for Justin? That's his favorite.
I don't know if there's any yacht rock in there. There's a lot of, I would say, rock, 70s, 80s, 90s rock. Most of the bands here are going to be in that.
Little alternatives. Chasing Phoenix does some country, and they have a lot of original songs. So there'll be a little bit of country music mixed in.
Yeah, Dusty Live and Phil are original artists, so they do their own music.
Yeah.
Which is nice because one of the things we also want to do is we put a set list out so that all the bands would say this is what we're going to play. So,
so
not
it's
everybody's
not a lot of
playing
crossover?
"Don't Stop Believing" in every set.
Yeah, closing it out. I don't know. That might work though.
Yeah,
Be like,
so-
everybody closes the same song.
That's more of a battle of the bands thing, right? Where you
okay.
want to see how well they do.
Yeah.
That's a whole other conversation. But anyway, it was important to us to make sure that the music was fairly diverse. So there is a lot of that. But these are bands that have been playing up here for years, and that's important to us too. We want to make sure that there's fans that come to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it was a whole bunch of folks you didn't know, it might be some hesitation to make the trip. But it was important to get to the bands.
All right, so you've done it with 4 weeks to plan. You've done it with a year to plan, arguably. Which scenario do you like more? Having more time to plan it, or do you miss kind of the running and gunning of the first year?
I like having more time, but honestly, it's crunch time this week.
Yeah.
There's still a long to-do list, a long checklist to make sure we're bringing stuff, we're coordinating, we're picking things up. So it's still, when it comes down to crunch time, it's still Still a lot of work.
And this obviously the shirt's not being here is making me nervous. I know Tim's got it covered, but
We're gonna paint our chests.
Yeah.
If the shirts aren't here, we're just gonna bring paint and.
so I'm optimistic that we're going to be fine. But yeah, not having stuff today that I know we're going to need in 5-6 days is making me a little nervous.
Rock the Park, Rock the Lake 2, excuse me, Rock the Lake 2, September 21st, noon to 8. It's going down at Lake Norman Brewery. You can check out all the information. You can find the event on Facebook. $25 tickets, $100 table. There's only like 1 or 2 tables left. You better snatch it up because you're going to want to sit down for 8 hours of jam session.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to probably have a seat. You'll find me rolling on the floor probably or something like that somewhere. So thanks guys
fun.
for coming in. Appreciate
Appreciate
it.
you
Rock
guys.
the
Thank
Lake
you.
2.
Thank you.